Welcome back to Salt Lake City, Utah for the Players' Championship men's round of 16. It's Dave Vincent alongside Abraham Montijo here. As a round of applause coming from the crowd, Jonathan Hingey up against Sean Lenning. You know both of these players, both in completely different circumstances. The server just defeated you in a qualifier final.
Yeah, he took me out, yeah.
And the other one's like your roommate back home almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
He literally is.
Okay,
actually.
he is, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can have an almost roommate.
No, he is.
1 play 0.
Yeah, John this morning, he played extremely well. He played really well. He's one of those players that could be on and he has a great serve and shoot game, or he could be off and skip a lot of balls in. So this morning he was the better of those two options.
Well, Jonathan wearing the white, Sean Lenning wearing the black, and we felt at the last stop in New York that he should have qualified there. Jonathan, it is. So we've known that for a long time, even maybe a couple years, that he was knocking on the door.
You're my line judge?
I mean, really, he has been, and so it's nice to see him do it, but it's unfortunate he did it against you.
Yeah,
I mean,
the nice guy that he is, he gave me a spot in the open singles, so I get to still play some ball, and he's first-time qualifier, which is shocking. You'd think he'd been here, done that a couple of times.
Yeah, I would have thought so too, but he's going against Sean Lenning, who has openly said, I like playing these guys that qualify for the first time. I like to show them a little bit about what the tour is like.
Yeah,
and that tour is the tour of the court for about 1 or 2 points.
0 plays 1.
So Sean's a little brutal on the young ones.
Ooh,
Look at that inside out. Hop serve ace, I believe. I don't think that was short.
He's leaning left and he misdirects it to the right side. Perfect.
Oh, that sounded like it broke. And that wasn't short.
Both agree?
I didn't see that at all short.
I thought it was short. Right? And big difference this year to last year in the show court is no white screen on the left side. So my initial reaction to that was this is tough. This is going to be a tough court to play on, more than usual. And let's see how that plays into this match, and then even the future matches coming up this whole weekend.
We've already seen a couple players get fooled on shots that you didn't think were that dramatic, but we say it all the time, but every single club that has a side glass has a different set of circumstance that comes with it. And this one is purely, we've been on this court, you and I, Abe, been on here 50 times on the show court. Never have we ever played with that left side wall where they removed a white banner which normally hangs there. Now we're seeing what it really looks like here, the essence of this club, and the flooring is black, the side wall deep, about 20 feet back.
I'm not a big fan of it, so
well, the fans like to look in though.
There's like 3 fans on the side.
I'm talking about on our, well, we'll show you. Here's the camera angle.
Okay.
Here's just one of the camera angles. Score here 3-2. Hingey holding his own.
So far, pretty consistent. He hasn't flubbed many balls. He's kind of hanging in there with Sean, so it's a good initial start for both.
Yeah, usually just knowing that you're playing Sean Lenning will put you in a
you're defeated
kind
before
of a
you
dramatic,
step in.
dramatic situation. And I will admit, even myself, I've kind of fallen into that a few times, but you have to just shake that.
Power drives, that comes off the back one. He's picking on that left wall. Hingey was.
And this is right here the difference that you will see between some of the top tier players and those that are trying to break into that tier. They'll make some errors that you just cannot make at all.
Yeah. And there are certain errors you can live with. The errors as in you're set up and you just kind of happen to skip a ball by 1 or 2 inches, you can live with something like that. But if you're underhand paddle behind the short line kind of thing, those are the areas that you don't want to get used to those.
Oh, wow.
Almost.
I've seen Sean make some of those shots before.
Yeah.
But I thought that was going to hit Sean maybe in the face or another body part. I think he'd rather take it in the face as opposed to the other body part.
So for people that don't know much about John and his game and when he's playing well, he's got 2 great serves down the left, down the right. This morning I got to see both of them. He could slide it down the right, and he could hit a reverse down the left that doesn't touch the back wall. So when he's on, that's him. And then if you get it back, he's pretty good at just taking the ball off the
2
fly
plays
as well.
5.
And like you said earlier, just a nice guy. So, you know, even though you're sitting here as a guy that was just defeated by him, you're not necessarily upset that you're seeing one of the good guys make it this far.
Yeah, I mean, we had a battle.
Wow.
Tough back.
Oh my gosh, Sean Lenning wins that rally? Is that even possible? That was behind the back. I mean, he did it so quick that you didn't even really see it.
He might have hooked it a little bit, too.
Oh, and then Hingey does a mouse himself.
Wow. Exchanging. Maybe it was one more? 3 in a row?
Wow, yeah. Let's see if we can see the most
shots.
outrageous thing happen here.
Oh. And that's part of what you get with John sometimes. It's a good serve. He'll try to go for something big, and sometimes it won't be that
5
close.
plays 2.
Once he hones in, he's going to be, you know, he's already a terrific player.
There's another shot,
Yeah.
2 inches high.
2 plays 5.
Make those amazing shots when you're serving. I've seen a lot of side outs here.
Side out. 5 plays 2.
Would you say that Hingey is sneaky good? Or is he just going to be a solid player?
I think he's just solid. He's solid and could be streaky. Yeah, that's how.
I see his game a lot like the good Chip Morales. Remember when Chip was
Possibly.
thin? Just has...
He had a good serve.
I don't mean that in a bad way when Chip was thin. I don't mean it like that. But, you know, when Chip was playing good, he had a good serve both ways. He can fly the ball. And he seemed like he's making professional plays in there when he's striking the ball. You play some players out there, they just sort of have like this sort of trick shot that they do, or
1 minute.
that one that they've fallen in love with, and they're really
plays
good
5
at it. And if you
and
hit it in that spot, they seem to, you know, capitalize on it. But then you find a player that's all well-rounded that can pretty much do anything. And when they're on,
yeah,
they're
it's a good
dangerous.
comparison. Minus, I think Chip was more vocal. He's a more vocal player than John is. But yeah, aside from that, the styles are extremely similar.
Now look at this slow-motion camera. Abraham, brought to you by Mesh, Clark, and Rothschild. Now, I know Mesh and Rothschild, they're great people. I don't know about that Clark character.
Yeah, that Clark, he's a conniving person.
He just loves handball.
He's terrific. He's the man.
He's the best I've ever met. Look at this. Sean almost. And actually touched it. I didn't think he did it in live, but Sean actually touches
maybe
that.
an inch away from making good contact.
That could have been on ESPN's top 10.
Number 1, for sure.
Well, it's a lot better than that
Play
slam dunk.
resumes. 2
I've seen
plays
enough of
5.
those. 2-5, Hingey. That's short. No call from the ref. Somebody's going to appeal this serve if they don't forget about it. And there's the appeal. Sean knows.
I called it good.
It was definitely down.
Disagree one. I'm gonna call it short serve. He had a better view of it.
Okay.
I couldn't see it, so I didn't call anything. I just let you play through it.
That's a good call by the ref. He goes with the best angle.
He appealed
and
the
he was
serve. I
unsure.
called it good.
Made the right call.
I'm gonna agree with Luis because he has a better
You know,
view.
as a referee, you know sometimes you can't see it, and you're just letting it play because all the players are playing.
And that's where you trust your linesman.
Oh, you want a replay? Thank you.
Yeah, well, let's go to the instant replay here. I don't know why Jonathan would be challenging or using this challenge here, but we're going to look, and I can tell you without even looking at the replay, it was short. It was a short ball that we're going after, guys. Not anything in the rally. It was that first initial. We're reviewing it now, and we'll let you know in a few seconds, but without looking, is it safe to go ahead and tell the referee it was short?
Yeah, and then by Sean's reaction to it, rarely will he, go through a rally and let's see here. Ooh.
To me, it looks like it hits here. If we can hit Chris back in the van before when it hits the ground right back.
What do you think, Dave?
I think it hits the
I
line.
think it's touching it, yeah.
It's hitting the line. I would call it a short ball.
Short ball.
Yeah, see,
It's a better camera angle here.
this angle gets it.
You have to slow down right when it gets over the line. Let's go back.
And
Yeah,
yes,
definitely.
It was.
Yep,
Yeah,
definitely.
good,
Probably
good.
2 inches
That's
short.
a perfect replay.
Let's just remember that
Great
on all
job by the
short calls.
crew.
Yeah, that's the best short call angle you could ever get right there. Now, I want to thank Chris Grad for providing that instant replay up
That was
there
terrific.
from the loft on the left.
Yeah, but going back to, you know, when Sean usually kind of feels it short, you could judge by a player's reaction. Like, really? You're going to let that play on? Okay.
Yeah.
And the crowd likes that get by
Well,
Sean Lenning.
Sean is a good artist.
Yeah.
We don't say it enough, but he does it in a different way. He has a long stretch. His gets are
6 plays 2.
that he can close the court gap as quick as anybody. But he's creative when he does it too. And I think that's part of his. He might not be the fastest guy, but his creativity on those gets, where you might not think,
2 plays 6.
you know, the play's over, the ball's by him. He can flip it to the back wall.
There's a crack serve by
2
John.
bounces, point.
Nice serve right there.
Hingey gets a point.
3 plays 6.
And there's another good serve. Shoot. That's his game.
Maybe Jonathan Hingey could be this tournament's
4
Andy
plays
Nett.
6.
You never know.
If you play like that,
Short ball. Second serve.
Oh, it looked like he was going Z. He changed his mind and he fooled himself. Trying to be a little too tricky.
6 plays 4.
Give Sean a big back wall setup and he rolls it.
Short serve. Second serve.
Wall hugger. You never know. Once it gets there, you never know what's going to happen.
is a wall hugger a lot like a tree hugger?
I think so.
Kind of
Yeah, minus the arms.
Democrat.
Yeah.
4 plays
It's a democratic shot that he made right there.
Yeah, wrong place and wrong time. We go there. We shouldn't.
Oh, come on.
It's his best 2 out of 3 to
6
15.
plays 4.
Breaker 15 also, and you have to win by 2. Big setup for Hingey off the back wall, goes to the corner, pinches it out. Sean doesn't get it.
Right out.
Yeah, so far it seems like John's the sharper of the two players. Some people might initially think
4
he
plays 6.
might get a little nervous playing someone at Sean's caliber, but it doesn't,
He doesn't
seem
look
like
nervous
it.
at all to me. I mean, there are some little hand errors, but in this court, and there's another great shot from Jonathan Hingey. No timeout called from Sean. Not yet, anyway.
He won't call it, I think,
5
not
plays
until
6.
unless he's really flustered. I don't think he's going to call it.
You have to be in shape to play on these courts, Abe.
There's altitude as well.
Look at that little underhand punch fist from Sean Lenning. Nobody in the game has that. And he does it so
6
good.
plays 5.
You're probably playing Sean more than anybody on the planet. 7-5 score. And have you learned anything from
7
playing
plays
Sean?
5.
Yeah, a lot. It's a different lesson every time I play. That's a nice reverse serve down the left. Took advantage of the glass. But I don't know. I don't know. You learn a lot. You learn what not
8
to
plays
do
5.
as far as like setups to give these top players. There's certain shots you cannot. You might think it's a good shot against someone in the area of their rank between
Oh, come on, JT.
12 to 20. You might get away with shots, and then you play one of the
9
top 4
plays
guys,
5.
and absolutely not. You do not get away with this. So you kind of learn.
Second serve.
That ball hopped away from Sean. Over the top,
The only
down
troubles
the left
with
wall.
playing someone like Lenning, if you're practicing with someone like him, is his
10
style
plays
is
5.
unique, and it looks cool. It's a style that looks cool, but to emulate that, it could really throw you off your game. So that's where I've tried to learn not to completely emulate him, just kind of take some shots, but know that he has his style and no one else can do what he does.
Right.
Just take what
30
you
second
can, and the
timeout.
rest of it, just kind of admire it.
Well, it
5
wasn't
plays
too
10.
long
Winner
ago.
2.
Sean Lenning had 6 and Hingey had 5, and now Sean 4 quick points now at 10. But it's a good point about Sean Lenning. You play him and you say, well, I'm going to play his style of game. And it's just not going to work out. And Sean's developed this since a very young age. Let's look at this super slow-mo replay here. Jonathan Hingey,
Great point of contact, and
2 bounces. Sean throws his hand up here, doesn't make it to the front wall. Hingey gets that point. Sean then overhits that ball off the back wall. Hingey sets up. Watch what he does here. I think he pinches the corner to the right.
oh yeah.
Sean is having to cover that to the right a little bit,
5 plays 10.
thinking that Hingey's going right back down the wall. That's all she wrote. Sean skips it in. Good side out, or I should say timeout from Hingey.
6 plays 10.
He's going left. See how many more
Hold
times he
on,
goes
good
that
ball.
direction.
6 plays 10.
That's a good
Oh,
one.
that's a terrific reverse serve.
It didn't double bounce the back wall, but it's the second best thing. That flattens out. Sean thinks it's going to go revolving door.
7 plays
He
10.
buckles his knees, and that's an ace.
I think this tournament, if players can consistently get the ball to that back corner, you know, a couple inches off the back wall, they'll get some setups.
Sean's dangerous from there.
Yeah, you don't
I
want to
mean,
give him that
Hingey
shot.
is standing 3 feet
Right out.
from Sean, and Sean hits it exactly perfect. And you knew as soon as Sean walked up to that spot, it's like, okay, you go ahead and give me that underhand
Yeah.
lob.
And Sean is like, he'll take that as an insult. You're going to lob serve me. Okay, I'm going to try to. He doesn't get lazy on that return. He goes for it. He tries to roll it in front of you.
And these are the things Hingey will learn. You'll
7
never,
plays 7.
ever see.
And that's something I've learned as well from
Don't lob
Sean.
serve Sean. I mean, it's,
Oh, you could do it. You just got to place it in a much
Better be
better
good.
location. Yeah.
yeah, let it come down on the side wall as it comes down, not like that.
12
I thought
to
Hingey
7.
would throw it over to the right, but he didn't do it. Now 12-7 going to 15 here.
That's a big natural hog. Gives him a slow ball that he
Look at that.
tomahawks. Wow,
First time we've seen that in the tournament.
that's amazing.
13 plays 7.
He might have even done that open hand, which is maybe harder.
And there's now 14-7, just like that. Hingey was just
Possible
a
game
point away
point,
from Sean
7.
Lenning, and Sean just says, well, we're going to go into game 2 here in a second. And it could be right now. And it isn't. Sean Lenning's side out. Finds himself walking backwards.
7 plays 14.
Short
He's going
ball.
to keep on going down that left side. I don't blame him. Keep going there.
Second serve.
Let's see here, another lob.
See, now Sean obviously can't fly that.
There you go.
Wow. Amazing re-kill by John.
And John's going for that.
Mm-hmm.
Look at this
Yeah,
replay
he's
here.
not
14.
lucky. He is going for it.
Abe, look how good this replay is here. Watch what Jonathan does.
Yep. Wow.
Just the tip of his fingers, flips it over to the front wall about a half-inch high. And then that ball meets the sidewall. That's what I mean. If you're going to hit a lob serve, you make it so it kind of does that sort of thing where it's meets
14
right where
plays
you would
8.
step in and try to fly it.
Seems like Sean's trying to catch the crack with the natural. He's missed on it twice, but he's gotten setups off it regardless.
And
This
there's
game,
Sean
guys, 3
Lenning
minutes.
taking
There it
game
is.
number 1, 15-8, as you're watching the Players Championship. MineQuest, shaping smart change for the life of your mine, the global leader in mining software. I want to thank Mintech, Hexagon, MineQuest for sponsoring, as well as Tucson Rolling Shutters, Dewey's Bail Bonds as well. It's, you know, unfortunate not to see Dom,
Yeah.
Sonone, and
Disappointment,
Dewey's,
actually.
but they're
Hope
still,
he's-
what?
Yeah, it's disappointing.
It is, actually.
Yeah,
I
shows,
was kind of let down.
Chose a vacation on Mexico on a boat, by
Fishing.
the seas, fishing.
Enjoying the life. As we are here in Salt Lake City, Dewey's Bail Bonds are dedicated to providing the fast, most courteous, and knowledgeable bail service possible. Established in 1950, they have over 85 years of combined experience in the bail industry. Call toll-free 888-621-4238, 888-621-4238. That's Dewey'sBailBonds.com. And they can help you in multiple states. We're going to take a break. We'll be back in just a bit for Abraham Montijo, Dave Vincent here. Game number 2 coming up next. Stick with us at racerate.com.
NFC, AFC, offensive linemen, defensive tackles, quarterbacks, and cornerbacks are all living united to ensure the academic success of millions of kids in our communities all the way to graduation day. But that won't happen without you. So take the pledge at unitedway.org. Make a difference in the life of a child. Suit up like your favorite NFL players and become a volunteer reader, tutor, or mentor with United Way.
Seconds.
Back here in Salt Lake City, Utah, at the Sports Mall. My name is Dave Vincent, alongside Abraham Montijo, as
All right,
Sean
here we go,
Lenning
gentlemen.
wins game number
Sean
one
serves
against Jonathan
first, 0
Hingey,
plays
15
0.
to 7.
7 or 8.
Short. Second serve.
And that's Sean's best
One
second
play
serve.
0.
Well, he's the
Cracks
best.
it off that left wall.
He's the best second serve artist in the game.
2 plays 0.
And Sean's coming out a little more fired up than game 1. See if he could maintain this.
I don't know if I've ever met somebody that can score more points quicker than Sean Lenning.
3 plays
Paul
0.
Brady, maybe?
Well, yeah.
Sometimes.
When he's rolling, yeah, definitely. Paul Brady's excluded from everything.
Hey, you can't
forget
include him
it.
in the conversation.
Yeah, he's
Fine.
not in the conversation. When there's not a close second, Paul Brady's out.
Ooh, there's a cool acrobatic shot by John. And he got a little lazy. Gave Sean an opening. Yeah, you can't. I think that came from watching Sean. Just the shots he's making, he tried to kind of, here's
Yeah,
one
I
of
mean,
mine, and you
Four
can't.
plays
You just
0.
can't do that.
As a player, you fall in love with that stuff. You want to try to do it yourself, and that ball just sound like
You
it
gotta-
broke.
You got to be extremely disciplined and knowing yourself.
5 plays 0.
Look at
Wow,
Sean.
2 unreturnable serves.
Sean's going to serve
6
this to the
plays
left.
0.
He shouldn't. He should go right. Yep.
Oh, and he gets a
Short.
crack.
Oh,
Deal.
my goodness.
1 agree.
Those-
Both agree. Second
Yeah,
serve.
it was short, but he wanted it. He wants it. He wants.
He doesn't go to video replay either.
Between the leggers.
Jonathan better watch out here. He can get a
7-0.
big old donut, and it can happen quick.
Sean's been known to do that a couple times in New York.
Nice setup. Sean has a good back wall game when he's on. Hingey goes deep, wide right, inside out. That ball is actually cut into that side wall there. Slows down, stays up front. It feathers out of his
0
hand.
plays
A lot of
7.
spin.
Ooh, got that ball. He's John Wonders, and he got a point.
That was a perfect shot, too. Sean Lenning guessed that
One
John
plays
was going to
7.
stay up to the right. John blows it by him to the right.
John actually has very good power for someone his stature. He's not very tall. He's not very big, but he has good pop. Very good pop.
7 plays 1.
He's in the military. He's training. He's training his body nonstop, so he's well built.
Side
It's
out.
a side out. 1 to
And
7.
he's been playing handball since he was a junior player, so he's developed a great technique.
1 plays 7. Screen ball. Screen ball.
Maybe short also.
Now, you sat courtside during that Emmett Pachot Anthony
2
Celesto
serves,
match. You had to
1
shake your
screen,
head
1 plays
in
7.
a way when Anthony Celesto said to Emmett that Emmett had cut that ball in 2 and stopped play. You had to, I mean, at least from a referee standpoint, you had to shake your head saying, wait a second, it's not your call.
Well,
It's not the,
maybe, but
wouldn't that be the player's call or the ref's call, but not the opponent?
like kind of like Paul Brady, where you don't include him into like a certain.
Okay. Okay.
Anthony's one of the more honest players as well, so I'd give him a pass. I mean, if he thinks so, then why not? Let him. Maybe a linesman saw it. Unfortunately, I couldn't see the white strips on the side of the glass. They didn't let me see, but you know,
Our
maybe
video cameras.
even Emmett, as a player, sometimes you might not know if you got it on too. So why not
7
confirm
plays
it
2.
from either a linesman or a ref? And I don't think it was that big.
Well,
of a
I'm
deal.
more talking about just stopping
I didn't
play
think that was good
altogether.
from back here.
Stop
Say,
and
well, that
play.
was too play. But then again, I've seen that happen. So
I didn't think it was good.
no, that ball definitely skipped in.
Call it a point. 8 plays 2.
Emmett played terrific. He's having a great season. The reverse. Paddling back and forth. Who's going to be the first to hit a pass? Nobody.
Wow, they're both feeling this altitude. Look at Sean looking up toward.
He might be disappointed that maybe that's the look up.
Maybe so, but I saw Anthony, JT looking up toward the sky there saying, I'm out of breath here. Sean then looks up toward the mountain of Zion.
Yeah, well, I'm going to take some credit for John being tired because we had a tough match in the morning. And he even said it. He can't believe I'm this tired after 25 points. No way did I ever think this possible.
Well, it really wasn't 25. It was more like 50 some odd points. You guys 25-23, the score there, certainly a lot of running.
Yeah.
That'd be like a tournament for a lot of people. You guys still have like 5 or 6 rounds to go in all the other brackets. You're watching the Race for 8 season finale in Salt Lake City, Utah. The WPH Race for 8 5 kicks off in Fountain Valley, California, in the OC with the Simple Green U.S. Open of Handball. And WPH R48 Pro Stop number 1, October 22nd through the 24th. That'll be at Los Caballeros Sports Village. Women, men's, pros, indoor play, plus amateurs, juniors, age division, singles, and doubles. They will go outdoor as well for the big 3-wall play and soak in the sun with the friends, family, and the continuous barbecues out there. Far West Meats, you remember all the stuff that they did for us out there, Abraham. Join the Simple Green U.S. Open of Handball to honor the greatest player to ever live, Nadia Alvarado Sr. More information, race48.com, or go to r2sports.com, or you can even email us at wph@race48.com. Sean Lenning
plays 2.
back in here at 9-2. He wins the first one, 15-7.
Great pass by John, kill pass.
Sean thought that ball was broken, but
I took a weird angle. It hit the side one, then it hit the back one. It shot out in a weird direction, but John stayed with it.
9.
John's doing what I would do. Just get the ball and try to serve it. Nobody's checking this. Nobody's bugging me. This is my ball. You know, Sean has this sort of thing that he does in a 4-wall court that's very similar to what you see him do sometimes on a 3-wall court, where he jams the ball into a side wall and then you're flying out the side door. It's very difficult to play when you're always retrieving one of Sean's shots. See how Jonathan has to like stop where he's at, try to get to the other side of the court. Sean is always mixing it up.
Yeah, and that shot right there, that's on the run. He hits the ball above his waist with the reverse back down the right. Most players can't do that, and John, like, what do I do?
What you do is you tear your Achilles.
Too young for that.
11 plays 2.
11-2.
And that's
See, I told
glass
you.
right there. Yeah.
See, I told you, just like Chip.
Oh,
You know, those are the funny shots that we've seen that before, and we've done it before, Abe, that you flip it down there, and people think you're just making a sloppy shot, but when you hit it, you know exactly what the ball is going to do. It's like he's in the wrong spot, and I know that this is going to slide that wall on.
yeah. It just happens that it caught the floor closer to the wall than I thought. It looks cool.
It looks cool. It's fun to do. Sean's just letting this ball come to him. He's not exerting any more energy
11 plays 2.
than he has to.
It's a good ceiling shot by John.
Sean's just waiting for that shot to come off the front wall from Hingey. Puts it away.
And Sean up front, he's one of those, like, you know, most players, if they're up front, they want to kill a ball or do something. They want to hit it, you know, around their knees or lower. He could do something from wherever the ball is if he's in front of the short line, from his face, from his toes, from anywhere. There, the ball was close to his face, and he just powered it down the left, and not a chance for John to retrieve it.
Abe, you don't remember it. You possibly didn't even play handball then, but when Sean Lenning was like 13 or 14 and he had the same style back then, it was just stunning because you've never seen anything before, and then you're playing a junior that's got all this creativity. He's just really never changed the style of the game.
Yeah, and I got a chance to talk to him about it, like about his style, and And it wasn't even like me asking questions. It was, you know, we coach together. Sean's one of our coaches for a junior program. And, you know, we're talking to some of these guys as to, you know, kind of like their antics. Like maybe you should be playing more instead of like sitting on the couch or watching or kind of chilling. Go out there and play ball. Challenge one of the older guys. Go in the court by yourself and try to hit some corner shots or something. And that's where he started saying that him and his father used to go, and he wasn't old enough to play, so all he had to do was watch. And he'd watch, and he loved it. And then he got creative, and that's where the creativity comes in, where he got bored with hitting a simple kill shot, so he mixed in sidewalls and mixed in, I don't know, different arm angles. Here's one. Oh,
I'm surprised he missed that.
It would have been great if he actually hit that.
I mean, the way we're talking him up.
Yeah, it would have made me sound like a genius.
Yeah.
Now I just sound not a genius. All right.
The announcer's curse once again.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of the mind of Sean. Like, well, this, I can't. They're not letting me play. But then he goes in there and plays and beats everybody so bad.
Yeah.
When he was young, that they didn't want to play him anymore.
Yeah. And part of it, you think, okay, he's just naturally talented. Yes. But as a young kid, he was disciplined enough to watch handball by other people and then implement those shots in his own game.
Second serve.
And then you have the freak.
That's where it all came from freakish shots. Sean somehow gets that ball back to the front wall. Hingey goes over the top. Now it's 14 game and match for Sean Lenning.
John can muster a sight out here, make him stay in the court a little longer.
Come on, we have a broadcast schedule here.
Oh, yes, we have a sight out.
David Fink versus.
Is that the next one, or is it Cordova and Mondo?
I don't know.
2 plays 14.
I think it's Fink.
Yeah,
and,
John
and
milking
Vic Perez. Yeah.
He's milking his
TV time. Yeah.
TV time. Yeah, good strategy.
I don't blame him for doing it.
Yeah, first time qualifier, you gotta milk it. You have to.
Jonathan Hingey goes to the revolving door between the legs, flips it up. Sean says, you know, I'm the guy that's used to that stuff. I'm just gonna flip it up here.
Aren't they?
Jonathan Hingey taking that timeout. You're watching the Players' Championship in Salt Lake City, Utah by Edel Handball. Get the new machine washable pro gloves at www.edelhandball.com. Unprecedented 90-day warranty. Best performance and value in the sport of handball. You need to get a pair. Play with those pro gloves. I threw mine in the washing machine before I ever played with them just to see what would happen.
10 seconds.
Yeah.
And I just threw 2 pairs in there, and out came 1 glove and a sock that I was missing for like 14 months. So
2 plays 14.
no real moral of the story. 2-14.
Second serve.
Oh, look at Sean.
Wow.
One of the best returns of serve in the game. We'll take a defensive
14-2.
shot and make it offensive and then get right back in the server's box. I don't know how he does it. Those underhand paddle punch fist things that he has, with usually with offhand.
Yeah, in practice, he'll take my power serve down the right and take a full slider and swing and re-kill in front of me. It's like, what in the world? No, can't do that.
I try to do that, and
Not allowed.
I have surgery. And there it is. Sean
Nice
Lenning
match,
takes
gentlemen.
the match. 15-7, 15-2. Sean Lenning now advances into the round of 8, and Jonathan Hingey advances to the playoffs. As that instant replay brought to you by R&A CPAs. You're watching the Race for 8 Players Championship, Salt Lake City, Utah, for Abraham Montijo. My name is Dave Vincent. We'll have another match coming up right around the corner. In fact, you're going to catch David Fink and Vic Perez coming up next. Stick around. We'll have more handball action in less than 10 minutes from Salt Lake here at racefor8.com.
It's Timothy Green Ethan's first day at school.
What's in there? He's
Well,
about to fall
anything
over.
he might need. There's a box of tissues on the bottom and some Band-Aids. There's a whole first aid kit, actually.
Mom, I can handle it from here.
You don't have to be perfect
Have a great day.
That's too much pressure.
Have the day you have.
to be a perfect parent.
There are two people in the world who want you more than anything. They'll make some mistakes, but they will love you more than you can ever imagine.
There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just as you are.